Welcome to the Tunabudget Podcast, your source for insights into financial wellness. Today we're diving into retirement, opportunity, survival, or waste of time. At Tunabudget.com, home of the Tunabudget Worksheet Plan and Candid Conversation Memos, we offer resources that simplify budget life planning. We encourage discussions about real-life challenges affecting our finances. Don't forget to submit your Candid Conversation Memo at Tunabudget.com. Let's get started. Retirement, opportunity, or just survival, or maybe just a waste of time. Where do you fit? Maybe a little bit of each. Maybe you're already in retirement mode or soon will be. If not, suppose for a few minutes that you are. While you may not be as productive as you once were, you are still probably well off and just somehow surviving. Quite possibly, you're wasting good time whether you realize it or not. Maybe you've been blessed with good health and sufficient resources. If you are, what are you doing with your time and resources? Maybe you're still married, or maybe your spouse has passed away. Maybe you're concerned or worried about your sustainability. Perhaps you're sick and lonely and even depressed. Maybe several of these scenarios apply to you, or soon will. For today anyway, life isn't over yet, and maybe it's high time to change up a few things and look at your senior years from a new perspective. Is it possible that you might kickstart a new beginning, regardless of your age and your health and your opportunities? So we're going to talk about a bunch of different things today. How about the first topic, pulling in as many resources as possible? Generally speaking, it seems that as people approach the retirement years, there's a concerted effort to accumulate sufficient resources to carry them through their retirement years. Who can acquire enough? What is enough? Who's to say enough is enough but you, right? Resources are needed so that aging parents are able to take care of themselves without the assistance of their family, right? Isn't that how society views the retirement years at this time in many places? Maybe the rationale is due to the standard of living the now retired parents had acquired prior to retirement, including the big house, the expensive vehicles, the travel, the clothing, and whatever else. Who wouldn't want to maintain the same way of living in the retirement years? To live, you need to keep pulling in resources, so you think. But honestly, would just a modest retirement lifestyle not be enough? Give us some thought. Perhaps there are some opportunities that should be considered. Next subject, pushing out as many resources as possible. But what about a different strategy altogether, like this? What if you, the retired senior parent or parents, decided that you have enjoyed a wonderful life up to this point, and enough was enough? It's time to disperse your extra abundance or wealth. You seriously think about even downsizing and getting rid of a bunch of things. You push your resources out to your family members or grandchildren so that they too could have a leg up in today's difficult world. Why not? Seriously, why not? Couldn't you sell those assets and reduce your standard of living similar to that of a newlywed couple? You could change your mindset strategy and deploy a new strategy of opportunity. You could start today and push resources to that newlywed couple just getting started out in life, your grandchildren. Or push it out to your children sooner rather than later, where you can watch their eyes light up with some easing of their burdens. Maybe you have enough wealth to where you could step in and somehow magically make their mortgages disappear without even telling them. Of course, they'll find out all too soon who did it. But why not seek to minimize the wealth factor by sharing that wealth away much earlier than would normally be the case? What a grand opportunity. Today, now, where do you stand? Are you pulling in or pushing out senior parent or grandparent or great-grandparent? If you step back and objectively look at things as an elderly person, you may not need the size of house you currently live in or all the nice toys and properties and assets, etc. Perhaps those things can be somehow shared with your children and grandchildren, and you could get by with something less, right? You could if you really wanted to. Is that not true? Next, really, truly, sincerely, think about the financial well-being of your posterity. If you have wealth at a, let's say, very senior age, Why not share it away with those whom you love and care about now? Create new and stronger relationships of trust with your family members and others as you distribute your wealth. If you would just be willing to change your heart a little bit, you should and will clearly see opportunities to get outside all the aches and pains and troubles, and your heart will forever be focused on how you can make your family's lives better, stronger, and happier. It must be human nature or something, but from a young age, you've always known that we feel better when we get ourselves out of the way and find opportunities to bless the lives of others. For sure, no kidding. Maybe it would be too great of a sacrifice, you say. So what? Who cares? Most senior people should not pass up the opportunity to share their wealth with their children and grandchildren much, much earlier in life. There needs to be a mind shift, a change in the timing when wealth is transferred. Nobody's going to take any of their wealth with them anyway, so why not see the joy in their eyes of being around those by being around to see it happen? Older seniors who have much wealth, something their children's families may never have in today's difficult world, should share with their families now, sooner rather than later. And families, they need to step up and lovingly take care of their parents until the end when they pass away. It goes both ways. Both the children and the seniors need each other now more than ever. As to you seniors, it may be that you need the most help in so many ways. If families will also open up their resources and time to each other, lives will be blessed for generations. Next point. So, get practical about it. Will you change and gift away your wealth now? So, like what? Well, first, ask yourself where you stand financially and health-wise. For example, what resources do you have at your immediate disposal, and those that may be tied up in long-term assets? Are you rich by the world's standards? Do you need all that money to last you for the rest of your life, however many years you might think that is, because you don't want to be a burden on anybody? Do you have assets tucked away so that you can live off the return and plan to leave what's left over when you pass away? Do you have a home that's way too big for you? Is your home and garage full of stuff that you'll never use? You're not even going to go out and touch it, but you keep it because it's such good quality and worth a lot of money? Is your mindset on keeping hold of your money and stuff because, you never know? Are you willing to cash in a lot of these assets and significantly downsize and share them with your family members and grandchildren? As an older senior, can you not reduce your standard of living and work something out with your family to maybe better take care of each other? You say, no. Okay, fine. You don't. You won't. We get it. You can't let go of your stuff because your stuff defines who you are, probably, right? If you're being honest. If you're that stubborn, you'll be missing out. Blessings to your own children and grandchildren will not have been extended, pure and simple. Easy recipe, you get what you want. So there, you win. Will your posterity therefore lose? Yes, they will lose. If you really have the wherewithal to shake things up, still take care of yourself, and do not something with the rest of the wealth that you have for years on end, this scenario makes little to no sense whatever. Next, what other gifts and talents do you have to share? Let's shift forward and look a little bit outside this circle. In addition to your assets and income, what other resources do you actually have? Have you acquired skills and talents throughout your life that are now resting dormant? What is your talent? What is your passion? Are you volunteering service in your areas of expertise or profession? How much of your time could you give away to others or to a good cause? If you have that desire to simply serve others, multiple opportunities will pop up. But you must change your heart first. You must ask. You must be willing. You must really want to bless others. It's not about you in the sense it will bless you. It is about you blessing others. That's how you bless yourself with crazy things like, happiness, joy, and so on. In other words, it is all about how you can serve others. Meanwhile, are you watching endless hours of television and surfing the web? How about the relationships you have with your family and friends? Are they close? Could they be closer? Are you capable of doing more for others but just don't want to? Are you now sitting back in cruise or remote control mode because, hey, you earned it? You just spent the last 40 plus years working hard, and it's your time to relax and enjoy life a little bit more, right? Do you want or need a change of pace or scenery? This short ad is sponsored by the Debt Crisis Problem Podcast. Attention listeners, please join us at Tunabudget.com to tune into the Debt Crisis Problem Podcast, where in plain English we discuss the 20 risks that could soon fuel a serious economic downturn. We explore these critical risks and offer practical insights for navigating financial uncertainty. Join us for thought-provoking discussions that encourage transparency and more awareness. Subscribe now to stay informed and be ready for whatever comes next. Create your own Tunabudget Worksheet Plan with your loved ones. You may have opportunities and options from your wealth. You may be way out on the other end of the spectrum, bogged down with limited and declining income, high bills, and mountains of debt. Maybe you're sick as well and in survival mode. Maybe you're in the middle of just wasting the days away. Regardless of what path you're on, sit down with your family members soon and talk about these things with them. Pull everyone in on the same page. And if you need help putting together a Tunabudget Worksheet Plan, you don't have a laptop, whatever, ask for help from those you trust. Use plenty of candor as you come together as a family. This is a time for candor. Okay? This will be a time that's special. It will allow you and your loved ones to see your financial well-being and the sharing opportunities you wish to extend. It brings everyone together on a single page, if you would. Doing so will allow you to see what you're really facing in your senior years. Again, the Tunabudget Worksheet Plan is a tool. It's a very sharp tool that you can share with those whom you love and who love you. Consider whatever changes or adjustments might be made to your assets, your debts, your income, expenses, and so forth. Discuss these options openly and candidly with your loved ones and talk about the possibilities that could emerge from the worksheet. All this is okay and well-meaning, even if you're not used to talking about finances with family members. You're loved, you've loved and served others your entire life, and it's okay to open up and talk about these things and let all the pretenses simply go away, okay? The opportunity to share your burden and possibly your resources is still there. You just have to figure out a way to do that, and you will know what you should do. So if necessary, ask for help creating your Tunabudget Worksheet Plan and tell them the adjustments that you want to make as you think about it and you discuss it. Next item, restore family ties if necessary, like immediately. But what if loving family ties are not in place? Life happens and family members might not be communicating. Well, for one thing, that must change immediately. And you're the one to make that possible. Whatever it takes, fill your heart full of love, forgiveness, or ice cream. Reach out to your loved ones. Ask for their help in putting together your plan. Once again, it's okay. If you want family relations to be restored, it will happen. If you don't, they won't. Probably not today anyway, but it will someday, right? As an older senior, you know that you have a new opportunity to share resources with your family now, as opposed to waiting until you're very old or die. Maybe your family will also realize that they have an opportunity to return some of that love to you too. But at a minimum, they need to be given the opportunity to fulfill their natural duty and responsibility to you, and family ties need to be restored with open communications. This is up to you to make that happen. It is a choice. Desire and choice to do this, and it will happen. Desire and choose to do this, and it will happen. No longer the big-time fighting, the discontent, and the contention and anger and all that stuff. It's time to forgive and forget. It's time to come together and heal once and for all. You can make this happen. Just want to, and a way will come. The next topic is plenty of money or not. Look for spontaneous sharing opportunities. Okay? more opportunities. Today is going to be a better day. Instead of spending time watching TV, stuff like that, you're going to have a real living experience. Something new is going to happen today that is going to bolster your sense of being alive and living with purpose. Small acts of loving kindness to those in need. You have to come up with your own name for this, whatever you want to call it, but any of you seniors can do these things. You just really have to want to share and live a purpose-driven life. And you can do it as often as you want, every day. And I'll share with you how in a second. I'll give you some examples. But please remember that some things should be done anonymously too. You will know when that approach is more appropriate by just being there on the scene. Basically, there are a multitude of opportunities to lift a fellow traveler on this earth everywhere, all the time. If you want to see them, all you have to do is ask for them, and you'll get them. Ask however you think you should ask, but ask. It is unlikely that your budget will suffer much at all, too. And there will be countless individuals and families and hearts that will be bolstered, strengthened, and reassured. You may have wealth that will enable you to carry out these small acts of loving kindness each day. What better way to spend your time? There is no time to waste, so let's get going. Your senior years will have more purpose and meaning than you'll ever be able to take in. To be able to see these opportunities, once again, you have to ask to see them, and you will, okay? For example, the first example, the grocery line at the store. Look at the young couple standing in the grocery line in front of you or behind you. Notice any stress in their faces, maybe the small child and an upset or sleeping baby. The grocery cart may seem to be not as full as one would expect, perhaps just enough to get by for another day or until payday next week. Is your debit or credit card or cash fired up yet? What will you do about it? This may also be an individual you can just tell has the weight of the shoulder on their shoulders, the weight of the world on their shoulders. And when you experience the miracle that will take place, you'll realize it was never about the money, but that someone cared, like you, about them or him or her, even a stranger. That is what touches hearts. It's because of loving kindness that it happens, and everybody is going to feel it. How about the meat counter, not at the checkout, but out in the back of the store at the meat and deli section? While you're at the store, and because you asked to see these opportunities, remember you have to ask, you notice a young mother standing next to the meat counter. You just know she and her family are trying to get by on little money. Oddly, she takes her selection of meat from her cart and slowly places it back on the meat counter. You know she wants it, but she decided that she can't afford it. Could you not have a store employee hand her some of your cash without anyone knowing? Maybe this person is a senior person who doesn't have anything at all in her cart except the meat she is putting back. What will you do about it? How will you go about doing it? Better than being at home watching TV. Can't wait for tomorrow to come, right? You're starting to get it. How about just the drugstore, the pharmacy? Maybe you go to the prescription line at the pharmacy and just look around for a few minutes because you've asked to see, right? You soon notice someone that is clear to you could use a loving hand. You somehow know already that it is not about the money. Someone was not feeling well, and a stranger came up to him and lifted his burden. You expressed hope that there will be a fast recovery, and you know that everything will be all right. It's those words, everything will be all right, that will come true in part because of you. Yes, that would be the new you and your kind of loving heart. What a way to spend your retirement years, sharing with endless opportunities. Your flaming hot debit or credit card or cash really gets it, right? Want to give it a try? Okay, let's keep going. The next example, how about the auto mechanics shop at the high school? Maybe you go big and stop by the high school automotive shop as school gets out one afternoon. You step in and talk to the shop teacher and ask if there wasn't a young man that really had a knack and passion for automotive work, but clearly could not afford and didn't have his own set of tools. Would it not change a young man's life and possibly give him a start to a lifelong career well after you're gone? If for some out of the blue reason, the nicest set of, craftsman tools he could ever imagine showed up the next day or two as an anonymous gift just for him. You want to change a person's life forever? Wish you could see the expression on that young man's face, or that young person's face, when he or she gets the gift the next day after class. You didn't know that it was the son of a single mother parent, and how she will react when she hears the news. What might you do to bless someone else's life like that? Your wealthy purse wouldn't even know any money was spent, right? The opportunities are endless. Is watching TV with a handsome bankroll more important than experiencing joy, happiness, and great purpose in life? You'd call that living, right? Wouldn't you? So go live. Go bold. Make things happen. But don't forget to ask for eyes that see, or for eyes to see, or the important opportunities will surely slip by. I have some candid questions for you. Are you a stubborn and crusty old retiree? And how do others see you? Are you a rich and sassy retiree? Again, how do others see you? Are you consumed with the finer things in life? Are you willing and able to share your assets with your children and grandchildren now? What are you passionate about, and what skills do you have? Could you share and volunteer these with other people? Contrary to pulling together resources for your old age, have you ever thought about sacrificing your excess wealth and pushing it out, or sharing it with your loved ones now? What can you do to restore familial ties today? Do you need help putting together a Tunabudget Worksheet Plan to see what opportunities and changes you could make now? Are you willing to ask for help from a trusted friend or family member? You should. If you have an abundance, do you have any idea how many automotive tools $1,000 or so could buy and anonymously be given as a gift to a high school young man who loves to fix cars, and how that would impact his life? Would you at least be willing to ponder about any of these things for a few minutes? Thank you for joining us. Today we explored retirement opportunity, survival, or a waste of time, highlighting the importance of open conversations in financial wellness. We want to hear from you at Tunabudget.com. Submit your candid conversation memo and share your insights. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe for future podcasts. Until next time, visit Tunabudget.com for your free Tunabudget Worksheet Plan, the most powerful budget worksheet plan in the world. Yours. Thanks again.